Hey guys, what's happening? This is Ryan Yokome with Money and Miracles Breakthrough Coaching. I want to talk to you guys today about a pretty big topic that I was pulled to share with you in today's video, and that is the topic of death. Recently, I had my grandmother pass away. She was in her 80s, and she was my mom's mother. And so, this happened so recent for me that I was pulled to shoot this video for you. I was hesitant at first because I wasn't sure if I wanted to go here because this isn't something that a lot of people talk about, let's face it. And, the reason I wanted to shoot this, not just for what I'm going through, but I've had several clients in the last few months, their mothers pass away from cancer or, their uncles pass away. I just had a friend of mine that emailed me that's on my email list about how his father recently passed away. And so it's a big topic that not many of us want to go there because there's a lot of pain associated with it. But because, my mother's going through it right now and, our family's going through this process, I just felt there was this intuitive pull to talk about the concept of the soul contract we have with death. So I'm going to go spiritual on you guys here and woo-woo because I know you guys love that stuff. And trust me, it's all linked to business. It's all linked to going out there and helping more people and making a bigger difference. And it doesn't seem like it is, but it is. And I'll explain to you why that is. First, I'm going to have a sip of my kombucha. This stuff is amazing. If you have not tried it, go buy it. Here in Canada, we don't have licensed grocery stores, so we can't get the alcoholic version of the kombucha. So I can't get crunk on here on this video with you. Not that I would off kombucha, that'd be weird. So let me just crack this open. And hopefully it doesn't spill all over the place. That is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's talk death. So, my grandmother and I weren't really close. I knew her. I've spoken with her, many times, and she had a bit of a challenging upbringing, and as well as my mother. I'm not going to go into details, but there was a lot of work that has been done that my mom's done on herself, and so, she passed away, like I said, a couple of weeks ago, and I went into a grieving process for her, because obviously she's blood, and then also a lot for my mother. Just seeing my mother go through that process is obviously not easy. She was my last grandparent that ended up passing away. So there was a lot of, a lot of healing, a lot of processing, a lot of releasing, a lot of crying, a lot of grieving, everything that comes with that. And so from the human side of death, it's hard. It's hard. It's traumatizing. There's a big process of grieving that, sometimes clients will come to me and be like, I just want this done and over with now so I can move on with my life. But it doesn't always happen in our time frame, right? Sometimes it's several months, several years of processing and grieving. And, from the human experience, it is hard, right? And then there's the soul side of things. So from the soul side of things, death is a complete illusion. It's a complete illusion. And this may challenge your belief system, right? We've been taught to believe it's the end, right? But death is no different than birth. It is all an illusion. It's all a cycle that we go through, right? So when I look at, what my grandmother had to go through and the process she'd go through up until the day she died, and my mother, what she's going through, it's like, yeah, I can grieve that as a human. I can grieve that. And then from a soul level, from my connection to God, my connection to the universe, I fully trust what they're going through. I fully trust what my grandmother had to go through to pass away. I fully trust the experience that my mother is having right now and what she had to go through. I trust that process. So from a soul level, it's like, wow, amazing, right? From the human experience, it's like, whoa, there's a lot for me to process here, and it's painful. So we kind of go through both sides, right? So let me give you a great example. Do we know how we're going to die? I believe we do. I believe we do on a soul level. So, and I believe we do before we choose to come into this body. And here's why. You know, we all have these contracts, and I think that institutions, whether it's the government or whether it's, you know, the healthcare system, I think that we've been taught that you want to die of an old age, right? That's the philosophy. You don't want to die of an illness. You don't want to die of a car accident or be murdered or have to go to war and die at war. You want to be able to die of an old age. Like that is, right? That is what we've sort of been instilled in us. And so there's a tendency to want to make sure we do everything right so we can arrive there. So we can arrive at being 80, 90, 100 years old and go, wow, I had a great life. I'm ready to die, right? But on a soul level, we don't know the contract that people have. You know, one of my good friends, his girlfriend passed away of cancer in her 20s, early 20s, you know, and he did everything he could to save her. And she passed away. She went through the whole treatment process of chemo and everything, and she passed away. And so from a soul level, he did everything he could to save her. She still passed away. And you have to believe that on a soul level, she had a contract with that experience, right? She had a contract to have her soul come into that body, experience this for a certain amount of years, and then move on. And move on to the next thing, whatever that is. If it's another, you know, round in this life, or it's moving on to a whole nother dimension, another universe, whatever that is. But this is where we move into understanding that death is a release for the soul. It's like, whew, out of the body, great, no more restrictions, right? You know, no more limitations, no more pain. I can move back into oneness and love. And that's what the process of death is. Excuse me while I grab this. It's a rebirth. This is so good, seriously. I have like a ton of different flavors, and this is one of the best. It's multi-green. I like it. Ginger's really good too. So I'll go back to like the institutions, right? So again, you know, I don't want to downplay the process of the grieving because it is extremely painful. And at the same time, you know, if you look at someone who has an illness, maybe like cancer, you know, my Chris, my girlfriend's aunt, she had cancer, and she was able to cure herself. She went in and learned so much and went through that experience and came out alive, thriving, healthy. She has an amazing life. And then other people get cancer and then they do pass away. So everything that the soul chooses is for an experience, right? And we've been taught, though, that it's like the most terrible thing in the world and we want to save that person, which is totally normal and natural, right? And then yet our souls know on a very unconscious, deep spiritual level that whatever is happening to them is something they chose, right? To have this experience in the human body. So it's not that it's a bad thing, and it's not wrong for us to go and like help. You know, that's a natural thing for us to make a difference and serve and help somebody. And at the same time, we have to go, wow, okay, let me just notice this path that this soul is on. So, you know, who am I to judge my grandmother and say, well, she should have eaten healthier. She should have taken care of herself better. She should have not been smoking. You know, she should have done all these things differently, and maybe she would have been alive. Who am I to judge that? Because I don't know her soul's path. And obviously, the way that she passed was how she chose to experience that. You know, same with you know what Chris is going through or what you're going through. Who am I to judge your path? Because I don't know. I don't know your soul's journey. I don't know what you chose to experience in this lifetime. And I think, again, you know, it really goes back to the way we're perceiving it. And, you know, I think what it allows us to do is allows us to openly grieve that process. It allows us to learn through that experience. You know, it allows us to detach from this sense of judgment and connect deeper with our hearts to that person and what they're going through. So how is this all linked to like your life and business and all those same things? Because it's the same thing of like us going, well, I'm not where I want to be, so I'm going to judge where I am, and I think I should be somewhere else. And we do this with people like teammates or clients. We try to get our clients or our teammates to arrive, right? Like, I think I know where you should be, right? So I'm judging where you're at. And in that sense of arrival, we're not accepting where someone is at. And we're not accepting what their soul chose. So this goes back to all we can do is do the work on ourselves. So it's like, okay, let me accept where I'm at in my life or business or grieving process or frustrations or resentments, and let me be okay with that. And I think that's really, for me, what I've been learning in the last few weeks through this process. So, big topic. If you guys have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them down below. And please like and share this video as always. I'm being really consistent. 3rd video, 3 weeks in a row. Whoop, whoop. Doing well. Gonna keep the train rolling. And if you guys have any requests for videos or you want to share anything or just anything that you're going through, I just sending you so much love no matter what you're going through. This too shall pass. Nothing stays the same in the universe. It's always moving. It's always changing. So you're going to be just fine. And if there's anything I can do to help you out or support you along your journey, just let me know. Drop me a comment down below. As always, love you guys and appreciate you. And we'll see you on the next video.